Hey guys, Neomis here. Now for today's video, I'm going to talk about the rumors for Bruno Guimarães from Athletico Paranaense being linked to Arsenal and Franck Kessie from AC Milan. That's right, I said it. Franck Kessie from AC Milan once again been linked to Arsenal. Now, I'll be talking about why I think these two players are really good options. But before I get into that, please hit the subscribe button, which should be somewhere down here. Comment and like. Now, let's get started. So as I literally do this video on the Metro, you probably can't see it right now, but Athletico Paranaense in Brazil have said that one of their really star players in Bruno Guimarães, they are willing to accept £25 million, which equates to, 21 million pounds, which equates to 25 million euros. Benfica are also looking at Bruno Guimarães as well, which, to be honest, it makes sense. I mean, Benfica, Portuguese club, Portuguese speaking player. You could see where it could work. And you know what? Historically, Benfica do attract a lot of Brazilians and Portuguese speaking players, so you know what, it makes sense. However, there was one caveat with that, and as soon as I saw this player, I thought, first of all, who is he? Second of all, when I found out that he's Brazilian, you know Edu is involved. You know this is the work of our sporting director Edu, an Arsenal legend, putting his influence into the club. That's what we want. That's what we want as fans, is to see that continue. Now, Bruno Guimarães, he's a 21 years old central midfield player that can also play as a defensive midfielder as well. And even though it's very difficult to see how he would compare in the Premier League just because of the difference in league, I do have to say, looking at some of the other South American players that have come up from South America to Europe, obviously the likes of Lucas Torreira, and let's not forget Gabriel Martinelli, who was in the lowest division in the Brazilian football leagues, to come up and play for Arsenal and to perform like how he's been doing, I think is absolutely fantastic. Now, I've done what everybody else has done. I've watched videos on him, which is why it's taken me a little bit longer to upload this video, and seeing, you know, how he plays. And I really do think he could be a pretty decent signing. He's relatively strong, quick, and exactly the type of player that Arsenal need in their midfield. Is he going to be world class? I have no idea. I really don't. But I would say that he would be a nice, good addition to Arsenal. Not just as a player, but even if you're looking at it from a business perspective. He's young. He's probably going to develop even more. And who knows? Even though a lot of Arsenal fans watching this don't want to hear this, but he's a player that you could probably sell on in later years and make a good profit on. And at the end of the day, from a business decision, that's really what you kind of want to do as well. So he ticks a lot of boxes. But the one thing I will say is, looking at Arsenal in this transfer window, that we're consistently looking for midfielders, not only that could play in central midfield, but also could play as a DM and possibly also as a centre back. And this is why I'm not particularly surprised to see someone like Franck Kessie being rumoured with Arsenal once again. Now, back in the summer, Franck Kessie rumours started up, and I know what Franck Kessie could do. I mean, yes, I've seen him play quite a few times. We've played against him with Arsenal, and he is a good player. He is a good player, but maybe not at the quality level that's needed for Arsenal kind of long term. Definitely more of a short term appointment for Arsenal. So like maybe 2-3 years max. He reminds me a lot of Fred, who plays for Manchester United. So he'll have his good games, but he'll probably have some bad as well. But he does have, his strengths are all of Arsenal's weaknesses. And that's why if you bring in a player like Franck Kessie, there's a very decent chance he could do very well at Arsenal. With Franck, he can play not only as a central midfield player, but I've seen him at times play slightly deep, but he primarily is really good going forward and attacking as well. So he's able to do a lot, and he's very quick, a bit of a playmaker as well, and strong and very physical, and that is key to what Arsenal really need for our midfield. We need to have strong, quick, athletic players, and it's something that we just don't have. Lucas Torreira, very good at tackling the ball. He tries hard, really does. You know, he's somewhat quick-ish. I mean, definitely quicker than Granit, but we need more. It can't be the whole Lucas Torreira show. And the same thing with Bruno Guimarães. It cannot just be him. It'd be great if we could get both of those players, but I think both of these players do represent a pretty decent amount. Right now, Franck Kessie is valued at about 25 million as well, which tells me that there's a certain budget that Arsenal are looking at. And to be honest, even though I would like to see Arsenal sign both players, chances are it'll probably just be one player. And what that means is that we're going to have to make a choice. So the biggest problem with the situation between these two players is that Bruno Guimarães right now, Arsenal want to do a deal in the summer. They feel that they'll have more money in the summer, and you know what it probably is, just looking at how the situation was last year, is that Arsenal, at least the directors, the likes of Sanelli and Eddie, probably don't even know how much they're going to have in the summer, and all of that will probably be decided in February, March time, and they don't want to then kind of have to, sorry to say this, but blow their load so soon in January just on one player. So they want to save everything and then go out and get the players that they want, which does make sense. But with Benfica right there, we don't want to miss out on this player. I'm tired of missing out on really talented players over the years. I've seen it time and time again, and I do think this is an opportunity for us to beat the likes of Manchester United and Chelsea to getting a signing like Guimares over the line. And you know what? If we don't get Guimares, then at the very least, let's go after Kessie. We've scouted him across multiple years. I think even when Arsene Wenger was here, we scouted Franck Kessie as well. So maybe it's time we actually go through with this situation and go get the AC Milan player. And I know a lot of AC Milan players we're rumoured with right now, just based on how their situation is. I mean, they're almost in the same situation as Arsenal. They finished 5th last season, as I told somebody in my comments in my last video. And right now they're 10th in the league. So they're looking to kind of trim their wage bill, probably loan out a lot of their players. And you know what? They've got some pretty decent players. So along with Hakan, I say bring Frank along as well. But guys, let me know your thoughts on this. I mean, what do you think of Guimares? Do check out videos on YouTube. Like, do your due diligence. Obviously, I have my opinion based on what I've seen and heard and read and all the research that I've done. And Franck Kessie, what do you think of him as well? Leave your comments below. Again, subscribe, comment, like. And once again, thank you for all the subscribers that have subscribed recently. Really appreciate the support, especially during this January transfer month. And yeah, I will hopefully see you all next time, which will be tomorrow. Peace.